So the next chapter, the next part was peacemaking. And that's big, right?
Yeah, peacemaking is probably a huge deal for most couples. I mean, we are going to have conflict in a relationship. Two people coming together are going to like feel each other out, and it's going to be crazy. But
Right.
not crazy, but
I thought the perfect relationship meant we were never going to argue about anything ever.
yeah, right.
We got to agree about everything. We're just two carbon copies of the same person.
And we're never going to have problems.
Ever.
And you're never going to have to like hear what you don't want to hear, and I'm never going to have to hear what I don't want to hear, or whatever. Like, we're never going to give each other our honest, actual thoughts.
No.
Because as soon as you do that, you have conflict. Well, okay, that's fine. I mean, and there's a lot of things that come from conflict that are good. You know, you can really bond with each other. And we're going to talk about conflict in other shows, so we're not going to go into that. But peacemaking, it's really important to your wife. Peacemaking means that it is your priority as her partner in the relationship to resolve issues. When a woman has a crisis in her relationship, so that could be a level of like, you know, something massive or something small. It could literally be just a bicker at breakfast, and then you go to work and we're now at conflict. Anytime we're not doing good and we're not like, oh,
I like it when we're doing good.
anytime there's some kind of break in the normal happiness, that is a crisis to your wife and girlfriend. And it can be at a different level than, you know, and like I'm saying, it can be different levels. But a crisis at all, anytime the relationship is at all on the fritz, if you will, that causes women extreme amounts of stress in their brain. They cannot function at their full capacity and be as productive as they need to be if they're concerned about their relationship.
Until that's like dealt with and kind of closed.
That's right. Yeah, there's a crisis happening. They will literally think about it incessantly until it's handled. And it's funny. It's funny. It seems funny because you know, we're neurotic or we're anxious or we're paranoid. I mean, all these words that you might want to label us.
This is different than a man.
But girls out there will know what I'm talking about when they've had arguments with their husband or they've had problems with your relationship, and then you try to go to work, you know, and what do you end up doing at work? You end up stewing, you end up calling people, you end up checking things, you end up looking for emails, you end up hoping he texted you that he's sorry. And it's funny, and you may seem like girls are desperate, but they're just trying to get that crisis resolved. So peacemaking is important, not just because it's important that you bring 50% of the relationship or 100% of the relationship to your side. That's not really what it's about. It's about that you understand what stress it can put your wife under when there is conflict.
Mm-hmm. And it's not always about being right, too. So this is one of the things this is another one of those chapters that I've read where
they're all good.
Wow, this is a big difference between men and women. Because that same scenario where the guy, we get mad, and then we go to work, we'll come back and be like, you still mad about that thing?
Yeah.
And we stopped thinking about it.
And you forgot.
We were like, oh man, like that was, I can't believe you argued over that.
And I did not forget.
A guy will just be like, oh, okay, moving on, dusting off, right? Because that's another, when we deal with conflict internally, most guys, we get quiet.
Right.
And so like when I'm with my guys, like guy friends, and they have an issue, I don't like, hey bro, tell me about your feelings, man. Tell me what's wrong with you, right? Like, no, we do the opposite. We're like, okay, you go over there by yourself and deal with your problems. And when you're done, come on back and watch the game. All right, let's just, you know.
Yeah.
It's totally
Have you ever seen that?
different.
Well, I mean, as a girl, it's kind of shocking to me because I see men do that to men. I see men that are obviously going through problems, and I know they're going through problems. They told me.
And they're almost ostracized. Like,
and they are like eliminated.
I'm not calling him. He's going through it.
Yeah, they're like eliminated from the pack.
Yeah.
And as
Well, just
as a
temporarily.
female
Yeah.
who's used to being the pack, that is like, whoa, you're in trouble. Like
Yeah.
if we eliminate somebody from our life, especially when they're going through hard times, that is like really, really not. We don't do that.
Yeah. No, we'll call you up next week. Hey man, you good?
But men
Yeah.
do
All right.
that.
Hey, we're gonna go play ball. You want to join?
So men are used to being alone in times of crisis, right? And they're used to leaving.
That's one of the things that'll get you in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Potentially.
It's a big misunderstanding.
Potentially, right? So this is
Yeah.
another thing that we were talking about before with understanding and not like asking her to tell you when she wants you to fix it. In this case, peacemaking, guys, if your natural inclination is to get mad and not really know how to handle
You
this,
feel anger.
and I need to deal with this, your inclination is to walk away.
Of course,
Which-
because that's what you do.
For her, that act of walking away is in essence giving up.
A death knell.
And it is, nothing will hurt her more than you walking away.
It's devastating. Absolutely.
So I think, like I was saying, I think the way to handle that maybe is to say, you know what, honey? I need a couple of minutes to deal with this, to think it through, to kind of deal with what I'm thinking about. I want to resolve this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be back.
Yeah.
But I need to walk away for a few minutes.
But the key there is, I want to resolve this.
And I'll be back, right?
That's peacemaking. By communicating to her that you understand that it is a priority and a crisis, that a resolution needs to be forthcoming, she's going to feel loved.
Yeah.
She's going to think, okay, he understands me. Then you take your time. If you need to walk away, you can. She'll be like, okay, fine, because he's going to come back. You'll be surprised how many women will allow that and be okay with that. Because they know that you're coming back and you're going to resolve it. So then they will understand and they'll say, okay, go do what you need to do. If you need to walk away and take your time and process in your own way, but then come back.
Okay.
And that's the second part of peacemaking, is make the effort to your wife to resolve crisis. And saying you're sorry first can go a long way. And Dr. Eggers says in the book that women will melt after you say you're sorry to them. And quite often I think you'll see that when you go to her and you do apologize, even if it's just apologizing for the fight in general. You know,
Yeah.
maybe you didn't do anything wrong, but maybe you're just saying, honey, I'm sorry we're going through this. But you're not admitting that you're wrong. Like, you're still going to resolve it, but just say to her, listen, I'm sorry that we're going through this. I'm sorry this is hurting us. You might immediately see her kind of melt and just be like, no, I'm sorry too, and I want to resolve this. And she might immediately put down her guard, and she just needs that from you, because that is a very loving thing.
Right. Be willing to say I'm sorry.
Even
And be willing
over
to
the
it.
situation.
Yeah, even if it's just, you know what, I'm sorry I got mad.
Sure.
I'm sorry that I reacted in the way that I reacted, you know?
Sure.
And then let's bring it back to the resolution and then get past, you know, the hurt feelings.
And that's peacemaking.
Yeah.
That's really good.